So you've been gone for 2 weeks now.
Oh, it's felt like longer than that.
Why is that?
Let's see. I did middle school camp.
Ooh, that sounds like a year's worth of work.
That was 5 days, and then I came back straight to the fireworks tent.
Ooh.
We did a fireworks tent for about 2 weeks, and then we packed up the fireworks tent and left that morning to head to move. And we're at move for almost a week, and got back. So it's
And
basically
you went to
been
CIY twice, is that right?
yeah. I went to mix, which is middle school, and then move, which is high school.
Oh my lord. Which one did you see Mike at?
Move, the high school one.
So is taking the
It was a
city
lot of fun.
not a thing anymore?
No, I don't think so. Although I
That's
like
sad
the
because I
concept,
really
and I think
enjoyed
it'd
that
be
one.
fun to do to bust it back out.
Well, I think I enjoyed that one more when we went to Alabama.
I think there was a lot of value in serving a city, and CIY used to do a thing called No Sweat. We did that a couple of times with Mike. I think at the gosh, I can't remember when that was, but that was more mission trips based. I think that one would be valuable to do
Well,
more
that's what it was in
missions
Dallas, I think, wasn't it?
with your worship. Yeah. Well, I even took my youth group to something like that called Engage. They still do it, but it's all pretty much overseas missions now. But back then they were doing some statesides too. And so one of them was New Orleans. And so we went down to New
Ooh.
Orleans, gosh, I want to say it was 10 or 11 years after Hurricane Katrina, and we were still doing work to repair from Hurricane Katrina.
Jeez.
Yeah, so it's heavy stuff.
So what you been up to other than church and, well, I guess work is what you could really boil it down to.
That's what I would say is work. I've been on a sprint, so I've spent most of this week kind of turning in receipts and getting emails caught up and stuff like that. Because next week I'm taking a vacation.
Where are you going?
We are going to drive down to Tulsa. I know
What
it
are you
doesn't
doing
sound
there?
like a super exciting thing, but we're going to go hang out down there. We've got friends of ours, Gina and her kids. We're going to go see them maybe for a day or two, and then probably meet up with Mike and see him as well. So when we record with Mike, it may actually be me and Mike together live.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, so I think
That'll
that
even be
maybe
better.
probably schedule-wise, I may just try to work that out with Heather and Mike just so that that's what we end up doing, and we get our time together and get the podcast. Kind of a two birds, one stone thing.
Yeah, because you wasn't feeling all that great. So, as I could believe that because you guys are traveling so often.
Yeah, dude, I don't know how he does it at his ripe old age.
What is he, 50 now?
At least 55, something like that. No, he's 50, I think. No, maybe not quite 50. Yeah. Well, if I'm 35, Cher is 8 years older than us, 10 years older than us. And Mike's like 5 years older than her.
I know he's older than her, but I didn't know exactly how much. So that'd be about 15 years. So yeah, it puts him right at 50.
I'm guessing on that. That's a total swing in the dark.
Yeah.
I just remember, I feel terrible saying this, but I remember as a young dude always thinking, if there were just a few more years, or if there were a few less years, I'd totally have a shot. Not like with Shara, but like I always thought Shara was like goals for a wife, dude. She's awesome.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. She's like, but she was
And
also kind of like one of the dudes without being one of the dudes.
and in the most innocent way possible. And I even told this to Heather, and Heather was totally fine with it. But in the most
Have you
innocent
told
way
Shara?
possible. Yeah, I told Shara this too. That even at camp this year, I was still crushing on her. I was like, it's Shara, man. Like, how do you not love Shara? Like,
Yeah. Well, I remember that time that you get like I wasn't into Halo, right? And when you guys would play have your LAN parties, like she would be the one to show me like her wedding pictures and stuff. That's how
uh,
nerded out I was. No, I love
I
Shara.
do
She's
remember
awesome.
that we'd go to Mike's house and play video games for a couple hours, and Bobby would go to hang out, but Bobby didn't play video games at all. So
I'll be hitting it up with Shara. Is there another woman like Shara though from the church that you can think? The only one that I could think of that would be remotely like our age. Like there was no really girl our age that was anything like Shara. I can't think of one.
no, no, Shara's one of a kind. Well, who was there was one other lady that was young and that was friends with Shara that I always thought really like because that was the other thing too. I think that's why we valued Shara so much is not just that she was beautiful and wonderful, but that also she like empowered us. She like saw us as valuable. She spoke well of us. She like challenged us. Like we were the boys. And she's
Right.
dude, would you it's the cutest thing in the world. She still refers to us as the boys.
Well, that's
Like she
cool.
was telling stories about us and saying, "Oh, the boys." And it would just like it melted my heart because it was Cher, you know. It's that sweet
Right.
Oklahoma girl charm that sweet Southern Oklahoma girl charm that she has.
I was trying to think of that
She's
woman that you were
she's
saying that was
wonderful.
friends with her.
Um,
Was she
you loved her.
another was she another
Um,
wife?
I can't. I think so, but I can't
One of my
remember.
favorite people that like probably
You
people forget
absolutely
about
loved her. She
is
helped us
Miss
with
Payne.
the burritos all the time.
Uh was she Cher's age or a little bit older?
Cher's age, she was pretty outgoing. Um, I cannot for the life of me remember her name.
Oh man. Yeah,
But
that'd be some
if I'm honest, I always remember you talking about like how hot she was.
Wait, which one? Shara
Not
or the other
Shara,
one?
it was the other one.
Huh. Was she a part of the singles group? Because the only one that I
No,
could think.
she was somebody's mom, not like in our age
Oh,
group,
was
but
it okay, was it the lady that did my physical?
no, I don't
You had
think
Javon
so.
Bruner. You had
No,
Javon
it wasn't
Bruner,
Javon. I remember
and
Javon. It
yeah,
would have
and
been
then
before Javon. It would have been
you had a
young.
lady
It
that
would have been
looked just
early
like
days.
her. Yeah, you had a lady that looked just like her that was younger than her, and she was like I think she did my physical for football. It was funny. I just can't remember her name because she left our church and went across the street to
It wasn't Laura England. It was
Laura England.
you remember Brett and Laura England?
Yeah, but like she wasn't Cher's
It
age. She
wasn't
was
Laura.
older.
No. No, I'm telling you, this person was younger too. I
Did she have a kid in the youth group?
no, I don't think so. I think she had a kid, but I think her kid was much younger.
Oh, are you talking about her? She had a little girl. Her name was I think she just got married and had a kid. The little girl. Let me see if I can because the one that I'm thinking of, like she was in the singles group and she would always hang out with Mac Jarrett.
No, again, Mac Jarrett's like our age, wouldn't he?
No, Mac Jarrett is older than Mike.
Oh no, I know who Mac Jarrett is. I'm thinking his son,
Oh, Levi.
Levi. Yeah,
Yeah, he's our
Mac
age,
was his
yes.
dad. Okay.
But
No, this woman was like Crystal Cloves' age. I don't know if you remember Crystal.
well, I
But
have
that
the
I
lady
swear
that
there was a young lady. She was real upbeat and fun. She hung out with Shara. It was early days. It was right after
Karen Heller.
Chris
Karen
Sanasari
Heller.
left. No, it's right after Chris Sanasari left, but not quite when I was there.
Hmm.
But she was like,
Blonde.
you talked her up. I think brownish red hair. I think.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I couldn't because, the one that I can think the lady that gave me piano lessons for a few weeks, her husband and her were pretty close, and that's the only one that I can remember that Shara really hung out with.
No, this one, gosh, I wish I
And
could
names
remember.
pass me now, and that's the bad thing about,
I wish I had
going
an
on
old,
with
I wish I had uh, an old Crossroads
oh, with
directory.
the phone
I
numbers?
could tell
Yeah.
you.
Well,
I
I
could
hit
tell you
Crossroads
who.
Christian Church on the, page, and, like, there's a ton of them on here. You got yeah, none of those because Shara would be friends with her, you would think. And there's only a handful of people. We have 33 friends in common. Karen, that's her mom. Karen Clark.
That's crazy. Nope.
What?
Oh, I
What's
was just looking
crazy?
to see if it, no, I was looking to see if there was anything in here, and I'm just like seeing like the church's website and stuff. It's been a hot minute since I've looked at the church.
Brandon, Javon, Tanisha, Michelle, Kevin, Megan, Julie, Nate's mom. Yeah, it's past me right now, but no. I mean, there was a lot of women there that I mean, they supported everything that we did,
Dude,
like everything.
so I've preached on this a couple of times, but there's a genuine thing called like a church mom or a church grandma, and that's just like somebody who is a blessing in your life, and they look out for you and they take care of you, but you're not actually their kid. And
Right. Church
they
grandma was
spiritually,
Bernice
church
Pittman.
grandma, yeah, Bernice Pittman. I know one, oh gosh, I can't ever forget it. Debbie Weist, Debbie Koval Weist, man.
Oh yeah.
She she
She's the one that
she she
she
has my
bid it
heart.
on us for like where we had to work for her for oh, what was that? Was it Debbie Weist's daughter that you're talking about? Curly hair? She didn't have a kid though.
No, no, I
David
don't
and
think
Debbie's
so.
daughter. Because they had a brother that was I think he was in a wheelchair. And then their daughter, I'm friends with her on Facebook. I'd have to find her, but she got married recently.
I want to say the lady's name started with a T, Tanya or something like
I'll have
that.
to look that one up afterwards. But so no, how was your
Tamara.
Fourth
I
of
don't know.
July since you've been gone? Because that was what, a week ago on Monday, Tuesday?
So my 4th of July was busy, man. We did $20,000 in sales.
Is that with Primal?
No, at the fireworks tent.
I know. Did you also sell Primal at the tent?
We were not able to sell Primal at the tent, unfortunately, because we had a contract only for the fireworks. I tried very, very hard. However, I have been getting the Primal sold elsewhere. So I have some fantastic people that love it. So
Did you get to watch the episode with me and Jordan?
I did and really enjoyed it. Had some thoughts on Jordan's mean comments about my
Your
hair,
pink
but
hair? Yeah.
and y'all trash talking me with my 3 layers and what
Though I
frat
didn't
I'm a
trash talk
part
you at
of.
all.
Alpha
Hey, did you like
Alpha
mine?
Beta. Yeah, yeah,
Christ?
that was good. Alpha Beta Christ.
Alpha Beta Christ, ABC.
Oh my, that's
No,
funny.
it was fun hanging out with him. He messaged me on the Facebook thing and said that he's at work still. And I said if you know of a time that you might be available, and then we could try to push it. But it didn't look like he could.
Yeah.
So other than that, what did you do for? I know that you were big into buying stuff for the church for Amazon Prime Day. Did you jump on
So
any big sales?
So normally, yeah, normally I try to look for deals. I didn't get a ton of stuff. I say that lightly. I did get some stuff. First
But
thing
not
I'll
for the
show you
church.
is no, I don't think I got anything for the church. I think it was all personal. So I got these.
Shoe
This
bins?
is it's shoe bins, yeah. But
Yeah.
they're like you put them together yourself
Yeah, it's like a
and
display.
they're not super complicated, but I've been having an issue with all of a sudden, like I have shoes now, like more than one pair, and like they're all scattered at the bottom of my closet, and it drives me freaking bonkers. And so I've been telling Heather, I was like, I need some way to organize these shoes for like $10 on Amazon Prime Day. So I was like,
How
let's
many
go.
came with it
12.
for $10?
I don't know if it was $10. Hang on, let me see. I don't
Oh, that's
want
not a
to
big deal.
falsely advertise.
I
Let me
actually
see how
got a
much
new mic.
actually it was.
It's a cardioid mic that also is a USB slash that other fancy cord like this one. This cord right here, Josh. I don't know. I always forget what this one's
Oh, okay.
called.
Is that XLR?
Yeah, XLR mic.
So those were
So I got a new mic that's a USB XLR dual thing, so you can use it on any type of like audio interface or computer with a monitoring auxiliary cord, so you can listen to whatever it is that you're using. Pretty cool, actually.
nice.
See, I was pretty. It's a Samson Q2U is what it's called, and it's a
Okay.
podcasting mic. It's pretty cool. Got it for normally they're about I think $60, and I think I got it for 45. So it's pretty good deal. So you got shoe bins,
I
and that's
did.
what you
I
got
got
for
shoe
yourself.
bins. I also got we replaced our vacuum, not our like
Ooh.
handheld vacuum. We got one of those little Roombas because that was on
Ooh.
sale, and it's phenomenal. We really like it. We between two huskies and two women in this house, there is just so much hair.
That's what my
So
wife
very
says about
much
my
hair.
beard hair. I actually cut off 4 inches of my beard. I don't know if you can tell.
I'm gonna throw on my headphones. Hang on just a second. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to go ahead and say, God bless America. God bless this great. Wait, hang on. I had it. It was. I lost it.
It's all good.
It was gonna be God bless America. God bless these fans and gentlemen. Start your engines. Feel like
Hutch
Daryl Waltrip in this thing.
Hutch had their last ever first Hutch Nationals race yesterday or last night.
Yeah.
For 45 years. They just had
Did
the
you say
last one ever.
first and last? Oh, okay.
No, they had their it's the last Hutch Nationals race ever because they used to have it back in I think they used to have it at the Speedway out there by Fun Valley.
Oh.
And they moved it to the Hutch Fairgrounds or the Kansas State Fairgrounds, and last night was the last one that they will ever have.
That's crazy.
So it is. I think they said it was 45 years of whatever that race was for, but it's gone now. After last night, we could hear the race.
I do gotta admit that. I do like my paper.
Well, like I've been watching that quarterback Netflix special. Yeah. So like that's what's making me think about watching you wear that.
Which if I were an assistant coach, what would I be an assistant coach?
Special teams like field goal, like offensive line field goal.
Offensive line field goal. Ouch.
Well, like when you say special teams, like you have a special teams coach for field goal, you have a special teams coach for kickoff, you have a special teams coach for kickoff return. So I would say field goal since it actually has an offensive
line special teams though. They have a separate
100%. It's an offensive line for special teams. I bet 100%. And you know how many coaches? Yeah, because you've got people like Travis Kelce stepping in at offensive line on field goal. I mean, you don't have your regular offensive line on field goal all the time.
Okay.
Because they're working on getting that angle and speed so nobody can block the field goal. And nobody really on offensive line needs to be fast for a play-to-play like type game to like for somebody to break a corner. So you're going to get somebody like Travis Kelce that can really cut that corner off so where nobody can get to the ball when they're trying to kick a field goal. That would be my guess. But like if you look at the offensive line when they come out for special teams, the regular offensive line comes off the field.
That's true. I do know that. What is
So I'm going to
going
assume
on?
that it's a special teams.
Dude, my
I would say it's
computer
a
is
special
haunted
teams.
now.
How's that?
It keeps trying to pop up Siri and pop open apps and all sorts of stuff. This is
It's
so
probably.
weird.
Have you ever plugged that headset into that computer?
Uh-uh.
That's probably why. So it's trying to read stuff. Is it a Turtle Beach?
It is not a Turtle Beach. It is a Nacon rig. But yeah, it's like opening music and all sorts of stuff.
That's weird.
It's
But no, I think this is
possessively
probably a
trying
good.
to control my.
All your audio, like it's
Yeah,
probably your audio, like
needs
motherboard
to
type
quit.
thing on there, like your actual thing. It is pretty wild to see like things like that go, especially when you just plug in a simple headset. Pretty wild.
Exactly.
But no, Jordan said that what I should have done was like you should like give this little speech about like how much you love the meat sticks over at Primal, and then I put whatever music I think is great behind it to where it sounds like it's like a motivational speech, or like if you were gonna do the catwalk just for Bodie, you send you
Improv
more meat sticks.
motivational speech might be one of my favorite games to play.
Well, we've only done it once, and you were a girls' soccer coach that hadn't won a game in X amount of years.
Yeah.
First, we need to start by
The
putting on your
concept
shoes.
of being the inspirational coach for anything, like even if it's just for like 2 day old guac. Like, I just love the concept of having this like sell it. You know what I mean? Like having to
Yeah.
make you believe in 2 day old
Well,
guac.
it sounds like it would be like a SNL skit whenever you think about it. Like
Yeah.
motivate us to eat this 2-day-old guac. I think Jordan would have been great at it, but he didn't want to try it. Freedom.
Sorry, can't hear you over the sound of freedom ringing.
Oh wow! Did you get that at the fireworks stand?
Nope, got it at Buc-ee's. Where we're down in Texas.
What part of Texas?
Denton. We were down there at the Texas
Denton,
Women's
Texas
University.
Wow. So, I know that you're all out of meat sticks because you had your last ones while you were on here.
True.
Are you jonesing?
I am.
How bad?
Give me some jerky. Pretty bad. So here's where I'm at. I have a few bags bought and paid for that I can eat, but the meat sticks aren't accessible. You know what I mean? Like I didn't realize how early in the research and development phase we were when we got those things. And I got to be honest, I'm struggling.
So, like when it actually comes out, how much do you think you'll order?
I will probably I'll start with like $75
of just meat sticks.
Oh yeah, and just like store them and yeah.
But am I right though? They taste better right out of the fridge.
So it's hit or miss. It depends on the flavor, but yeah, I'd say most of them, because they're real meat, they sweat a little bit, and so if you keep them cool, I don't know that they necessarily have to be refrigerated as much as it's just like a cool, dry place.
Yeah, you don't want them to be in your car and then you open it and then try to eat it.
Not. No, you don't want the meat sweats on it.
Like you want them on ice if you're out camping and you want some meat. You want
the meat sweats from having eaten the jerky, but you don't want your
not
meat
on your hands.
Sweating. Yeah,
facts. I agree with that 100%. But I mean, I don't know if you saw the recent post that I actually like. Some Facebook did something weird, like over the like it updated or something to where now I can switch between what profile I'm using. So when I'm updating something for the Chubby Buddies account, which I highly recommend everybody going to subscribe to
Go
it or
follow, subscribe.
liking it, following us or whatever. But whenever I would create like a promo for like Primal or Heartland Wrestling, whatever, right? Like I would have to actually use it under my account, and then it would show that Chubby Buddies podcast or Chubby Buddies Studio is the one that did it. Now I've actually got to like switch in between each one on Facebook and then update it. So like this most recent one, it wasn't like that, but now I can't see. Like usually I could see some of the insights, like when I share HCW's page stuff, or if I share something from Primal. Now, like everything after when I updated it, it doesn't show me that until the day after I updated it. So like that last picture that I shared about Primal, like I made that parental advisory. Like I handmade that on my app.
Oh, that's cool.
So it said like I think it was let me see if I can find it, but it was parental advisory explicit snacking. Did you see that?
When did you put it? Was it on the episode?
I put it.
Did you put it on the social?
Well, no, I put it on that Primal. I'm gonna try to send it to me
on the Primal ad.
Yeah, I put it on that like poster type thing that I created. So I actually found it. So here, let me see if I can send it via email. And your email is State Champ.
Nope, do not give up my email. Like on the podcast, what are you doing?
Is it that one though?
Look at the
Is it that one?
Send it there, but just text it to me.
Oh, touche. Touche.
Like, how old are you that you're trying to email something?
Well, because some photos don't send, especially since you have Apple, so it won't come through as good.
You know, you could just not be broke.
This is my phone that I'm gonna get next.
It's funny.
Samsung Galaxy
I love
S23.
that joke because the Samsung's like nicer, more expensive, and all around a better phone than the iPhone. Like that's all there is to it. Like
no, I wouldn't say that. I would say that Apple. No. I would say Samsung. The only thing Samsung has on Apple is that it's not proprietary with like apps and stuff. And two, the camera on it is amazing. It's immaculate.
And all of the tech and all of the features.
No, I would much rather have the system that Apple operates on, like the AirDrop. I wish Samsung had AirDrop.
That's the only thing that really sells for Apple is its uniformity.
And the iMessage.
Everything else, Samsung
iMessage
has the advantage on.
I would say iMessage is
but
an
for
Apple
me,
only
the uniformity is what I want. So it's why I stay with Apple.
Did you get that message?
That works all together. Let me see.
But no, while people are listening, go to www.feedonprimal.com and use promo code Chubby at checkout to save 15% off your order. So we highly suggest trying at least all 6 flavors and then putting in the code. And then after you've met the $50 gap or the cap that they recommend, so you get free shipping, you will get essentially 1 free bag of jerky. And that is www.feedonprimal.com. Use promo code CHUBBY at checkout for 15% off your order. Oh, did you want to go ahead and show that picture that I sent you?
Yeah, dude, this is fun. Look at it. Look at it, y'all, because that's good.
Do you know how long it took me to find
explicit snacking?
Do you have any idea how long it took me to find the correct font for that?
Well done.
Just to make it look like it was like what you used to see on those 90s CDs.
Oh yeah. I remember those CDs. You had to be 13.
I thought it was 16.
No, not at first. First you had to be 13. Because I remember it was I want to say it was Eminem's Curtain Call.
Well, the first one, actually, to be honest, and I only know this because I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast with Ice Cube, the first group to ever have parental advisory on their CD was NWA. and then they
Oh
started
yeah.
making it a part of their logo.
I'm saying I think my first one was Eminem's Curtain. Maybe it wasn't Curtain Call. Maybe it was something else.
I
But
bet you. What was the green? What was the green E one? That was probably your first CD. The one with the green like outlined E on it, and it was spelled back, or like E was backwards, and then Eminem.
let me find out. 'Cause
He had Curtain Call. Curtain Call was the Real Slim Shady, and that was like his what, third or fourth album in
um,
2002, one.
no, it wasn't Curtain Call. Hang on.
He had Superman on that
His Curtain
album.
Call was
Like
2005.
oh five,
That was
okay,
yeah. That was we were in high school. But
junior in high school.
so what was that? Man, it wasn't Curtain Call then. It was. Let me see.
Well, Curtain Call had the two trailer park girls go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside.
Oh, it was the Eminem show, I think.
The
Uh,
was it green?
no, that was 2002. No, yeah, that
You
would
were
be about
eighth
right.
grade. Was that the green
2002, that
logo?
would have been no, that was the red curtain. Gosh, the green
The red
logo.
curtain? The red curtain? I thought that was the Curtain Call.
No, that's the Eminem show.
Then that's the one with the Real Slim Shady and Superman on that one.
Nope, I remember what my first one was.
Parental advisor.
Nope, the Slim Shady LP.
The LP.
Yep.
Mm.
So it was. Oh, are you? No, are you thinking of Back to the Lab or Straight
Was
from
it
the
like
Lab?
a green? Was it like a green like outline behind like the word Eminem or behind the E on it or something like that?
Hmm,
It had like a green
no.
label on it.
Why do I
That's the
feel
one that
like
I
you're
remember.
thinking of the Chronic by Dr. Dre?
That's what I was thinking, but I did never have that CD.
No, but BJ did, and you saw it at our house all the time.
Eminem album covers.
Yeah, it's Dr. Dre the Chronic because it's got the green font up at the top. There was a black album, look like this.
Yeah, but like it didn't have Eminem across it. Like that's the one that I
No,
was thinking. Oh, Curtain Call is green, but it's not outlined in green.
no, and Curtain Call, like I said, that was 2005, so I don't think Curtain Call's
Right,
been
but
out
like the
yet.
Curtain Call one is a green logo, so you get Eminem
Yeah,
underneath, and then Curtain Call was green, and that could have been what I was thinking, but I don't think
but
so. I thought it
remember,
was
M's on uh, Chronic 2000. I'm pretty sure.
right. Well, Eminem's. I think he's the one. I think that's where he debuted
Yeah.
when it was still Dre.
Oh, it's called the Chronic 2. That's what it is. It's the Chronic 2. It's Chronic 2001. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
that's the
one that
one that they had the
Eminem. Yeah, that's the one that Eminem
debuted
debuts on
before he actually. I think that's the one where
before he
Dre signed him.
drops the Marshall Mathers LP.
Yeah. Either way, they were all good. In my opinion, Eminem is still one of the most talented like rappers out there. But I will say that like just because you could use other people's music for like any type of scenario, so like you being in church, right? You can't use Eminem music like that, and that's why I say that NF is just as talented because of his lyrics that he has. Like the
Oh,
way that he has his lyrics, he makes Eminem like he makes up for not being able to use Eminem in all scenarios.
I'm 100% on the NF bandwagon. I love NF. Hey, he's
Have you
insanely
listened to his new
talented
album?
artist. Yes, Hope is by far his best album, and just the dialogue that he gets going, the way he explains kind of his own mental process, and I love the language that he uses where he talks about taking over, and it kind of this one really feels like he steps out of depression and into hope. Like it's such a great album. It really, really is.
He just sold out his first arena
I want to
just
go
this
so
past
bad.
weekend.
I want to go so bad
I
to an NF
I
concert.
was supposed to go to a concert like in it was May of 2020, and what happened in 2020 ruined my chances of going to see NF that year.
Ouch.
we were supposed to go to the Heartland Arena, and it was supposed to be all one level, like because they didn't have the stands open for his concerts, or they didn't. It was all like flat, and we had front row tickets for that
Oh.
concert, and they had to cancel it because of Rona.
Did I tell you who I get to see in September?
Let me guess. Is it John Chris?
Yes. That's so excited.
And you know who I get to see because my cousin
Yes.
Heather.
Yes. That's gonna be good.
Oh, speaking of which,
And you're gonna take your shirt off and you're gonna hold up a sign, right?
I'm not going to hold up a sign. I'm going to hopefully I can get a shirt made that has like Chubby Buddies podcast on it, and that way I could throw it up
Do
at
you
it.
want Heather?
But
like Heather's got her press. She can help make Zuckerberg versus Musk. I love it.
Have you seen? This is the fight of the century.
So bad.
All right, this is the fight of the century since we're on sports. All right,
on sports. We're on sports. Let's talk about the.
We're on sports. Okay, I got this in the mail yesterday, and I used my Spotify points to buy this, and I am pumped. Even though, like, say that the fight never actually happens, right? Physically, the UFC this is a UFC licensed shirt. Okay, so the chances of this fight are above.
Supposed to actually happen.
It's supposed to actually happen. Yes.
Oh,
okay.
Gosh. I didn't think this was real. I know it's been.
This is a real fight. I didn't think it was. It's a real possible fight, right? But if you think about it, say that the physical fight doesn't happen. This is going on day to day, every day of the week, like Zuckerberg versus Musk, just because Facebook versus Twitter. Yeah. That's, I mean, I just like how they made it look like an all elite style shirt. Like,
I know,
it's just
I do
dope.
like it. It looks like an old school promo boxer shirt. It's cool. And
I will be. What we should do is that when it does happen, we should buy the pay-per-view, right, and watch it together, like on here, like, but not show it, of course.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
That would.
But who do you think wins?
Musk.
You think Musk wins?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my argument: Zuckerberg wins only because he's actually been training jujitsu for now, like I think 4 or 5 years now. But Musk, I would never count him out because of how smart he is. And he too has also been training, but not as hardcore as Zuck.
I still believe in Musk.
Oh, I'm never going to put Musk out of it, but I think Zuck wins easily because of how he's been. Huh?
Zuck's a lizard person. He's going to get found out.
I mean, no matter how much you or I, like whether or not we like him or not, he is a fighter. He is a jujitsu. He won a jujitsu tournament like a year ago. And that's what's bizarre. I'm all fine for Musk. I want Musk to win only because I prefer like his attitude over Zuckerberg's, right? But like I've learned to like Zuckerberg for like, I don't know if you've gotten to watch his episode with Joe Rogan, but he really actually comes out and like shows like, I mean, granted, I've seen The Social Network. It took me, I think I just watched it during COVID and I wasn't a fan. Like I was like, if this is really what happens, that's pretty crappy. It's not
even that accurate. It was even worse than that.
It was way worse. Yeah. Like that's like me like stealing your girlfriends. Like it's way worse.
Oh than that. Yeah. Is it like that?
But no, like he literally like the one thing that I never really understood was like if the other guy really had as much into it, like did he actually get more money than what they show in the movie? That was my question. I didn't follow it that hardcore.
Messy corporate stuff like that is just ugh.
I hope they fight for like the rights to something. Like if Zuck wins, he gets Twitter, or if Musk wins, he gets Facebook or Instagram.
That's funny.
That would be dope. That would be dope. That would be dope, though, wouldn't it?
Make that happen.
How much better would Facebook be if Musk had it?
I think it would be hilarious if Musk were basically like, what if they handed over like not promotion, like
free promotions on their social media networks for that other person.
I just think it'd be funny if like
Zuck Twitter was like saying Facebook.
Yeah, if Zuck had to do promo for
for
Twitter
Twitter on Facebook. On
on
Facebook,
Facebook,
that would be
yeah,
pretty funny because that's the
and
only
plus
account I don't
just
think
say,
you can link with Facebook is Twitter.
yeah.
Like you can't link your accounts. Like that
That
would
would
be
be a
just
really
something
funny way to see the 2, like,
bond,
sport it out, but then also, like, work together.
right?
So,
Like I'm
yeah.
not going for an individual in the fight when it happens, but I do want to see Musk win just because this is the nerdiest I've ever nerded out, right? Is Musk for Zuck. All right. And you can't argue that because you know how like little nerdy I am.
True. It's true.
But
This is
I am
definitely a step up for you. For
I'm
me,
definitely
this is a
going
regular
for Musk.
Tuesday. This so I'm just laughing at having you
Minus
agree
you
with
don't
me.
watch UFC like I do.
It's true. That's the thing. That's where we're finding some overlap for our Venn diagram
And that's where
is
we need to like
nerds
watch this together
fighting.
like on here.
Boom.
Right. We need to watch this together on here.
I'm
And
down.
then that way we can like, oh, it would be. What would be even better though is if we had like the commentator, if that person was the one and only, the space dude, the guy that what's his name, the space guy that does he has his own thing in New York, black dude,
Oh, Neil deGrasse Tyson? Is that
Neil
what you're
deGrasse
talking
Tyson. If that dude was on there talking about everything, that would be so
about?
funny.
That would be great.
Go all out, go all out, and make it a big thing. But no, but sports like when I think of sports, like my favorite thing about sports is the competitiveness, and I think UFC has got that beat by almost every sport out there, just because you don't know who's going to win, and it's
I
only
love
one guy versus another guy.
I love listening to yours and Jordan's discussions about baseball and sports and everything from last week, and I
Oh yeah.
appreciate that you, after the fact, agree that baseball is such a challenging sport
Oh, I
because it felt
totally
like
agree with you
pulling
in the
teeth to
beginning.
convince you of it.
No, I agreed that it was the hardest sport to be the greatest in, but I think it's easiest for sure to get paid to do because there's so many opportunities to get paid to do. But I think the hardest sport out there for somebody to be the best at would probably be UFC. Only because of all the different possibilities of what's going on.
Also, you
But
mentioned all the
sports,
different pitch types, man. There's like so many. You understand that, right? Like,
right? Like you got,
who said 6 to 8?
huh? Nobody said that. Like we didn't go over like all the pitch types, but
I was
I
gonna say
compared the
there's
pitch types to the martial arts of like
well, by
UFC.
that standard, I would say you've got just as many pitch types as you do martial arts
Not a
styles.
chance. Not a
Bro,
chance.
there's there's so many different pitch types and then so many variations of those pitch types.
But that's what I'm saying. Like jujitsu, right? You have Brazilian jiu-jitsu. You have other same thing with pitches you have with
Same
fighting,
thing.
but
You
you
have
also
fastball, you
have
have a two-seam fastball, you have a four-seam
but you can't
fastball, you
throw
got
the
a
same pit.
splitter,
You can't throw a fastball curveball.
yes, you
Can you?
can. Yes,
A
you
fast
can.
curveball? Like a
Yes,
fast
it's
pitch
called
curveball?
you
I
can
don't
throw a
know.
slurve, you can throw
Right? That's a slider
a
curve.
slider and a curve, a
But that's the
fast
only one, isn't it?
no, there's
That's
combinations
mixed
of
up.
everything. That's the point.
Meh.
In the
I mean,
same way that there's
I'm
all
not
these
denying
different
that it's the
kinds of
hardest.
boxing styles,
I'm not
there's
denying
all
that
these
it's the
different
hardest to be the greatest at for sports because it really is what you, I mean, you as your individual position in baseball is you, it's, that's where it's the individual sport. Like when you're on defense, right? That's the only sport out there that's like that besides maybe soccer and hockey. But even then, you've got other people that have to take part into like whether you succeed in that position. So like football, if they get into the secondary, like there's a reason they got into the secondary, like running the ball because the people in the on the line didn't stop them. So then it makes the
not
secondary's jobs harder.
yes and no. See, that's the challenge. I mean, football is such a multi-level sport where it matters in that way. Baseball is kind of beautiful in the sense that on defense, yes, there's a team element to it, but on offense, there isn't. It's you versus the pitcher, and it's
Yeah, and
one-on-one bat.
that's what I was saying is that it's an individual sport, unlike any other sport, where it has to do with what happens at each level. So,
Right.
like in baseball, if I hit you a pop fly, if you don't catch it, that's all on you. Nobody else can get blamed for that.
Right.
That's what I was agreeing with you on that part.
Yeah.
But baseball, yes, I would agree that it is the hardest sport in American sports that we've ever created. Is the hardest to be great at, but it
And
also is the easiest to be
hitting
paid
that
at.
tiny little ball, man. Hitting that tiny little ball might be the most difficult.
The
And I
only thing
agree
that's
that
anywhere
sports
closer,
are golf,
yeah,
but again, ball doesn't move in golf. The
right.
ground, the ground layout may change, but the ball itself does not move in golf. And in baseball, it does.
The only thing comparable to baseball is cricket. And even then, like cricket is so hard to understand to me. So I do have
Okay,
a question for you. Oh, go ahead.
I have an answer for you. Well, no, because it's not sports related. But I have something. So I have some new news that you'll probably want
You
to
can't
dish
do
out.
that. You can't
I
do that.
sorry, that's not ours. I have some. Hang on.
If it's not sports
Some
related, wait till we get to that next one.
interesting information.
Uh-oh.
How's that?
Is it
Does
good or
that work?
bad for us?
You okay with that one?
Nerd notes.
Interesting. Nerd notes. I like it. Nerd notes. So here are the nerd notes. No, I'm not gonna say them yet. It's
Not
family
gonna say him yet. All right.
It's
It's
family
what?
drama. We'll talk about it after sports.
Okay. So my question for you is have you gotten to watch any of the quarterback series on
Yes.
Netflix?
Yes, I'm like 4
My
episodes in.
I want to start it off with this, okay? I love everything about this whole thing, right? I love everything about it except one thing. Except one thing. Why do they have Marcus Mariota on there as one of the quarterbacks they follow?
You
They could have
hush your
picked so
mouth.
many people.
You hush your mouth. I am very much so intrigued in Mariota's story.
But
Have you
not with
watched the
who
whole
they
thing?
have with him. Not yet. I'm watching it one by one and I'm rewinding it if I miss something. But this is why I say that. You can't have Marcus Mariota in there with Patrick Mahomes. You can't do that. That's unfair. It's
Well,
not unfair to this because you can tell that they've got so much footage of Patrick Mahomes on this whole thing, and they're pretty much leaving Marcus Mariota out of like almost 70% of the episode. So what's the point?
bruh, Mariota's got to perform, and he didn't. Hence
He
the
does have to
reason
perform.
why he got
But that's not why. But why do we want to see that? Why do we want to see him fail?
It's the journey of a quarterback. Pick three and just go with what happens, man. Imagine how
But
this is going to look at the end of the show with Kirk. This is honestly, I'm excited for the way this. I haven't even watched the end, but I'm excited for the way it's going because I know how this journey ends for 2 out of 3 of these quarterbacks.
right, but this is why I'm saying that only because like we know what happens at the end. Why have Marcus Mariota? You could have picked so many better quarterbacks to follow that aren't in the spotlight. I know, and that's what sucks. Like you could have picked a quarterback that failed. That's still like a quarterback that I wish that would have been on there instead of Marcus Mariota is Geno Smith.
But
Geno Smith.
Nobody knew that Geno was going to do anything there.
But what they could have done
had some potential. Unfortunately, it just didn't happen.
On what proof, though? On what proof?
Bro,
like, what has he done?
Look at his staff. Look at the crew he has around him. This was the year for Marcus to prove that he was capable and able to lead. And I'm sorry, he just. I mean, I hate saying
now
it.
Where's
Seems
he
like a
the
cool
Eagles
dude on the show, but
he seems cool. But this is the reason why is because I think
have it.
I have a much more different respect for Kirk Cousins, 100%. Just he was a good choice. He was a good choice. He reminds me of a Kurt Warner. He reminds me of Kurt Warner, the way that he goes about his day to day.
Can we talk about how much Patrick Mahomes reminds me of Jordan? Like,
okay, I'm not going to say
just
at all.
in that. How much do these two love to use the F-bomb? Like, that is hilarious.
But this is what I will say about Patrick Mahomes. He was a great verbal leader.
Yes,
great verbal leader. My favorite episode so far,
man. Like seeing
with
him
Max Crosby
and just talk smack. Yeah,
with Max Crosby,
that
was
so
awesome.
Good, so good.
I'm here.
That fight. I'm here. You want the
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Yeah,
Now, and
that's so
right
good.
after that, he punched him in the arm, and he was like, "Come on, dude, I don't care if you hit me, just don't punch me." And then he's
No, it
like,
was
"All right,
before
I'm
that.
going all
That's
out."
why he went off.
Yeah, and then that's when he
Hmm,
threw the touchdown pass.
yeah,
He's like, "I'm here all day." But Patrick Mahomes, you can, I mean, he over exceeded compared to both of these quarterbacks that are on here. But I think Kirk Cousins was a good medium for this show. But I think another third best quarterback to follow would have been somebody other than Marcus Mariota. Anybody,
ugh.
but
You're
anybody other than
impossible to
Marcus
please,
Mariota.
Bobby. You're impossible to
Like
please.
he hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything since he's came to the NFL at all. Tell me one thing that he's done that no other quarterback has done. You can't. That's why I'm saying that.
He's a journeyman. I would agree with that, but I think I
You've
understand what the NFL was doing because you've
They
got
were hoping he
confidence, you've
succeeded.
got with the staff that they set him up with, it looked like Mariota could finally have a successful year. He didn't. There's kind of the proof in the pudding.
I mean, I would rather watch the Chiefs backup quarterback than Marcus Mariota. I mean, I'll say it out
I
loud. Now, I
mean,
will say this is that I like the little things that they add to the show, like how Marcus Mariota has his own chef and he brought him up as a friend. Like that
yeah,
is totally cool. That is a total cool thing.
it's
But
cool learning about like the story, like their lives around football, kind of the
100%
work that they do. Kurt just seems like such a solid dad
human being.
and Christian and human being, and yeah,
Well, like I like what
like
his
he
wife
just
said.
seems
Like
like the kind of dude you want as your neighbor, as your friend, as your buddy.
I'm not going to consider myself to be a religious freak. Like growing up, like you and I both were very on the same page with the whole religious thing. Now, I will say this: one of my favorite things about that this show so far with Kirk Cousins, his wife. His wife is his everything that he does. She supports him 100%. Like when he was down at the end of that game 3 of the season last year, she said that she knew that they were down, so she popped in her worship music to calm her
Yeah,
down.
that was cool.
I mean, like, not many wives are like very open with their faith and with their husbands like that. Like, I will also say this: Patrick Mahomes' wife is so annoying. Oh, bro, like,
There's a lot of people
her-
that just do not like her personality, her voice, anything about
it's
her.
not her personality; it's the way that, like, I think it's because she feels. I think it's her husband. Like, she's living vicariously through her husband because he seems invincible, so she's going to act invincible. Like, that's fine and dandy, but like, just lower your volume down a little bit. Quit talking as much. That's all I ask.
Bobby, you're hilarious.
Like, I'm all for being like happy about what's going on, but she's like overly dramatic. And I'm glad that they left his brother out because I think he's really bringing his brother down. Patrick Mahomes' brother. I feel like he has brought a lot of his brother down, like with the positive stuff that he's done. But I will 100% back the show, especially if they keep doing it. Like, this is like even better than Hard Knocks, in my opinion.
Mm, I really like it. I think, especially Patrick doing it because he wants his kids to see what he was as a kid. I like seeing, it's cute seeing Sterling on there and stuff like that. So I think it's just valuable to get to see some behind the scenes of the quarterbacks. I think you can get over yourself. Marcus Mariota is a perfectly fine quarterback to follow. I agree. I probably wouldn't follow him next year if he's even playing next year. Uh,
He
but
is. He's playing for the Eagles.
um, I think you could probably follow. I think it'd be fun to follow Joe Burrow.
I think it'd be fun to follow a whole division of quarterbacks. Like, just so that they like, how many teams were in the AFC West in the playoffs? 3 of them or 2 of them?
Yes. No.
The
What?
Broncos were the worst team. No, there was only 2 teams in the AFC West. All right. Like, say that they had like a whole division in the NFL, like they were following all 4 of those quarterbacks. That would be so awesome. Like them
Yeah.
trying to prepare to get to the playoffs. Like if you had every single quarterback that was starting in the AFC West. So like you have Jimmy Garoppolo, you've got Russell Wilson, you've got Patrick Mahomes, and then you have Air Bear. That would be cool.
Hmm.
Tired?
No, sorry. Yes, a little bit.
Oh, you're good. But no, I do enjoy this show so far, and that's the only negative thing that I find to the show is the fact that they've pretty much taken Patrick Mahomes, who is the most successful of the three quarterbacks, and then they have a good medium, but then a terrible third quarterback. Like it's almost like you're making him look even worse than what he already did himself. That's the bad thing.
I hope Marcus Mariota never listens to this podcast. I'm going to feel so bad for him.
Hey, if
Hey,
you don't want
listen, buddy,
honesty,
you were
like don't
great in Hawaii, and I'm sorry that just for
Hawaii.
whatever reason.
What are you talking about?
Or
Hawaii?
sorry, Oregon. You were great in Oregon. Sorry, he's from Hawaii. You were great in Oregon. I just don't think it's unfortunately translated that great in the NFL.
Right. Do you think that they do this with other positions?
What do you mean?
Like, do you think that they fall around like linebackers at some point or running
Not
backs
yet,
or
but I hope they
corners?
do. I hope with the success of quarterback that they do. Because you know what I'm waiting for, baby?
Linemen?
Linemen. Give me the
That's
big
where I
guys.
kind of that's where
Give me
I
the
kind of
big guys. I want that
disagreed with
for
Peyton Manning. I disagreed with Peyton Manning in the fact that the quarterback is the hardest. It is the second hardest, and I only say that because the only thing the offensive line does not have to worry about is what the wide receivers are doing downfield. That's the only thing that the offensive line has nothing to worry about.
That's why Peyton's right, though, is because the quarterback has to know all of it. He has to know linemen, he has to know receivers, he has to know his job, running back, all of it. So Peyton is right. Quarterback's got to be the smartest one on the field. In my opinion, and I don't think many people would disagree, center is going to be second smartest dude on the field. And should be.
I think it depends. I think it also depends on what the weak side of the quarterback is also. So the left tackle that's a very prominent position in the NFL has to be smart to know where that quarterback is coming from.
Yes, but your center usually knows all of the other positions and what they're supposed to
Right.
do and leads them. So that's why I would say
Hopefully.
center second.
I mean, how many
Now,
centers are the captains?
In most NFL lines, the center is
Because I can only think of one, and that's Jason Kelsey. The center for the Chiefs is not the captain.
Creed's not one of ours?
They don't have a captain. They have honorary captains, and that's it.
Okay. I don't know that.
The only other center that I can think of is the Steelers center that they had back when Big Ben was still playing. I forgot his name, but he was a captain on their team. But no others. The Cowboys' center, their center is a captain, but he hasn't always been the captain. But I would agree with you because I've played center also. Didn't want to. I hated that position only because like you've got to not only get the ball into the hands of the quarterback safely and secure, you then have to then worry about your block. It's almost like a quarterback. It's almost like the quarterback handing the ball off. It's like, I hope this gets into your hands okay.
Yep.
But how are your Cardinals doing, buddy?
Man, why you got to bring that up? They had another loss.
Because I think this is the worst season we've ever seen the Cardinals have in our lifetime.
Because it is. It's the worst season ever to be a Cardinals fan. Like, this has just been bad. And it's getting even worse because now freaking John Moe, Big Mo, freaking idiot from the front office, is threatening to start putting guys on the auction block. And I'm not saying I'm against trading a few guys away, but if he starts butchering our team because he thinks they're the problem, I'm going to throw a fit. Like, our issue is, one, Wilson was not prepared and does not know these pitchers yet. Get better pitchers, get a better pitching consistency and crew, get Wilson trained properly, get Ollie running the show properly, and Big Mo keep your mouth shut and stay out of it, and maybe Cardinals baseball can get back the Cardinals' way.
Now, I will say this. I do think that this whole division in baseball is the hardest. Like, they have the best teams in that division.
It's so hard. And that's the thing. It sucks to be a Cardinals fan. It's a great year to be a baseball fan. If you're watching Shohei Ohtani just rack numbers.
Did you see he got traded to the Yankees?
I'm so freaking mad about that. Like, if there you have just created a whole new generation of Yankee haters.
You've created
Like,
the 1998 Yankees right now.
it's so stupid. Like,
Either the 1998 or the whatever year Babe Ruth was on that team because he
I
played
love
every
show
position besides catcher.
here's the thing. I will still be a Shohei fan. I will still be a fan because Otani is the greatest baseball player to ever play the game.
I think he's the most humble player also though.
He's so
People
good.
don't talk
Now,
about that at all.
beyond that, we're also watching this freaking young Ellie Dela Cruz, freaking Run DMC, they're calling or Run DLC,
Yeah.
they're calling him.
DLC, yeah.
It's so good. He's stealing bases everywhere. He's hitting knocks,
That
and it's usually against us, and that sucks.
could you imagine him? Who is the runner for the Cardinals that also is stealing bases like crazy? Or they used
Oh,
I think he's the long-haired dude.
yeah. Hang on. No, it's not. Oh, come on, JD. Tommy Edmund.
Okay,
Tommy
imagine
Edmund steals a lot of bases.
him, the guy that you just mentioned, and then also the Cubs' old second baseman, shortstop guy. Imagine him, all three of those guys, Javier Baez, all on the same team. Could you imagine that?
Ooh, that would be scary.
On the Yankees with Shohei Ohtani?
Ugh. Why on the Yankees? Dude, put him on like the.
It's that salary cap, man. Just like Jordan was talking about last week.
It's
It's the salary cap.
That's what I'm counting on now. If Otani's going to the Yankees, I'm bandwagoning with the Braves
To win?
Because I'd rather Braves win it.
I'm enjoying just watching how like the Cubs, the Cardinals, like that whole division right there, right? It's stayed the same literally since almost week 2. Like everybody stayed in the same lead. It's crazy.
I know. It's been awful.
I wouldn't say it's been awful. I would say it's been competitive. Like the Cardinals aren't the worst team in the MLB by any means. It's competitive as crap.
Are playing some of the worst baseball that they have played in years. So yes,
yeah, but look at how many changes they've had though. They've had so many changes though too.
It's so bad.
I mean, but that's why it's the most beautiful game in America.
I know.
It's any given night that anybody could go on a losing streak, a winning streak, or whatever. And it's halfway through the season, so they better show up or put up. So, I mean, it is what it is. But that's enough about sports. That's not anything that's not sponsored by the Chubby Buddies podcast.
Speaking of sports that are sponsored by the Chubby Buddies podcast.
Say that 10 times fast.
Chubby Buddies podcast. Chubby Buddies podcast. Chubby Buddies podcast.
We need to we need a truffle shuffle type thing, or like an intro that's like that. Like you have this. You have like a sequence of like music, and then it's like Chubby Buddies, Chubby Buddies. You know what I mean? But anyway, hit him with this Heartland Championship Wrestling information.
All right, so Heartland Championship Wrestling, they have got some shows lined up, y'all. They have got several at the Osage Rec Center, September 23rd, October 21st, November 11th, December 2nd. They've got a couple of shows locked in for the Leavenworth Local. That's going to be August 12th and November 4th. So y'all make sure follow them on their socials. They're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Heartland Championship Wrestling. They are live and kicking. I appreciated what y'all were saying last week, and I absolutely want to echo those comments. It has been so great to see B and Daniel really kind of run with Heartland Championship Wrestling, and what a testament it is to their just character and their ethic, their work ethic, that all of these wrestlers want to come back and wrestle with them. That like everybody's saying, hey, we're coming and we're wrestling. Oh man, I was so pumped to hear the news about Ray, and I also have no idea if that's supposed to be public information. So Ray, sorry,
I did not see
if that was leaked.
Oh, you're talking about Jordan.
I'm not going to reference anything more than that.
Gotcha.
But if it was a leak, I'm sorry. If it wasn't, that's
BJ didn't say anything to me when I went to poker, so I think we're good.
I'm pumped for you, man. That's amazing. You deserve it.
I would say this is one of the largest growing like platforms on Facebook that I've seen. Like how fast it's went from 0 to whatever it is now.
They've got
It's pretty impressive.
it's such a great roster. It's such a great crew. Brings in insanely good talent and trains really good talent too. That's the other cool thing. Heartland Championship Wrestling, also a wrestling training school that Billy Simmons
Shout out
runs.
Heartland.
Yeah. So if you're looking to get in the ring, looking to show off your persona, you could definitely do that. Give Billy a call, reach out to him through those socials, and he will hook you up and get you
Need to get
trained.
that phone number in here, I guess, next time too.
You'll be taking back bumps in no time. And let me tell you,
Hey, can we say this now?
Yeah.
Can we plan this? Leavenworth Local Hotel, November 4th. You, me, and if Jordan can do it, we'll meet up there and we'll have a live.
Oh, I like that idea. That's
in the hotel. If we can, if you can do it, but that's
buddy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So on Friday, November 3rd is my birthday. We'll hang out. We'll have some fun. We'll record a couple episodes.
We should do that, and then we should like absolutely hang out with people that want to come hang out with us. We'll do
like hang out in a room, like have some videos. Yeah,
we'll all socialize. We'll hang out. Anybody wants to come hang out with us? Come.
Let's plan for that.
That'd be cool. November 3rd and 4th at the Leavenworth Local. We're gonna plan a Chubby Buddies hangout. Make sure you come hang out
right there at the local hotel, man.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
We'll be at the show. We'll hang out in one of the rooms. We can record a couple podcasts with people coming in and out, like wrestlers. That would be so much fun. Have the wrestlers come into the room and just hang out.
We should record something during the show. That would be really funny.
Oh, for sure. Like an intro of ours? Oh, yeah.
I get BJ to do that, but that would be really funny.
BJ would do it. BJ would do anything he like. That's another thing about BJ is that like he is so supportive of this platform that we have, and we really our only thing that we want here is just for me, Josh, and Jordan to hang out. Yeah. Granted, Jordan hasn't been able to hang out just because of his job, but I think this is also it's a mental health outlet for Josh, Jordan, and I. So
I get it. I slip into depression way too easy, and I need my time with my dudes.
See, I don't have like that's the thing that I can't say that I've ever really had is like depression. Like I've been sad, but I would say that this is like I enjoy this just because it's something that I look forward to hang out with you, and we haven't been able to actually say that we look forward to hanging out unless we've lived together, and this is the only thing that's really being able to keep us together. Like with keeping with everything,
games, but with our schedules and. Honestly,
I can't do video games no more. Like
not like it
this is so much better, and plus we can actually have a conversation outside of go kill that guy.
This feels more like it used to, sitting around the table, goofing around and chatting and acting.
100%.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
But shout out BJ over at HCW and Daniel over at HCW. They've got these huge. It's breaking news, essentially, is what they released this last week about the dates. They just got the Osage Recreation Center in Wichita, Kansas, and the Leavenworth Local Hotel has always been a proud supporter of BJ and everything that he's done with wrestling. Yeah, so shout out BJ over at HCW.
Yeah, make sure you check out those Wichita shows. Those are going to be a blast. So that should fill up pretty quick.
I can't wait for November 4th. I think that's going to be so much fun.
That's going to be
especially if we can really do it. And if Jordan can't do it, then I completely understand. But at least he's in that area, so he can at least stop in or whatever. So
exactly, yeah, he's within range.
And this week, since I wasn't thinking about it, I didn't get any pictures downloaded for us to do a meme thing. But I think it's good to have a little break. But like that last meme thing that I posted of your pink hair, it got over 1,000 like views.
That's funny. That's great. It was a good look. Jordan's little comment about wife just joining cosmetology schools.
Now let me see if I can get this up. Now I have everything that I've ever shared on here. So let me see. Oh, is this it? It is it. You want to try this one out, Joshua?
Oh my gosh. If Crisscross had a white group, like this is Chris and Cross, but they spell it CHRIS and KRO. No, hang on. How would they spell that? Uh,
KRISKROSS.
no, because that's how like the hip hop did it, I think. So this
Did
would
they
be
spell it
just
with K's?
yeah, I
So
think
it'd be
so. So I
regularly
think this would just
crisscross.
be regular. Yeah, it'd just be CHRIS. Like Jordan's Chris and Austin is Cross.
Now, which out of my memes did you like? I don't know if you remember what I said about these two. Like my first
Uh,
one was
your
Justin
first one
Bieber
was gold.
meets
Yeah, Bieber meets
Lil
Little
Lil
Trigger.
Trigger,
Little Trigger. I love it.
and
That's
then
so good.
and my second one was Theo Vaughn meets Riff Raff.
Yeah. I didn't who's Riff Raff? Remind me who that is.
Riff Raff is another white rapper that has like a grill and he wears like shady like he wears like those crazy Ray-Ban like sunglasses or whatever those the
Okay.
ones that people are bringing back from the 80s and 90s.
Gotcha. I don't think
If
I'm
you
too
haven't ever
familiar.
listened to his music, you probably wouldn't know who he is, but that's one of them. So
Yeah. That's good. Yeah,
now
no.
I liked this one.
This,
I liked this one only because this is literally how you dressed all the time that we weren't in football.
yeah,
Like you
absolutely.
dressed.
Man.
This is you.
Yeah, this is that was what's
Alpha
I
Beta
don't
Christ
understand
right there.
Alpha Beta First off, this was freshman year of college. This was like
I knew it.
this was first semester. We went and visited a friend of mine, Ashley. We went to her like home.
The chick from Taking the City? Or
No, no.
oh, not
This
that one?
girl,
Okay.
no, this is she lived by Beaver Lake, here in Missouri. But so
Okay.
we went to her house or Stockton, not Beaver, Stockton. And so we went to her house for a weekend, but this is a picture from like a barbecue one of the nights. But no, I remember this and Jordan in this little comment about me and my baby
3 layers
face. He's so right. My three
and his
layers,
3
yeah.
layers.
My 3 layers. You know what's
But do you
funny about
remember
that
his meme?
is that T-shirt is definitely a cutoff too. I guarantee it.
Oh, 100%. But
That's
what
so
about
that's
the
a
one underneath that
cutoff,
cutoff?
and so that's absolutely like a
Under Armour?
moisture wicking Under Armour, and then a cutoff, and then a dress shirt over top of it. Because I guarantee you, in my head, that was the whitest shirt I had that would work as an undershirt for the dress shirt.
And that was our T Days football shirt for T
Yes, it
Days,
was. Yes, it was.
Tuesdays, Thursdays.
I
So we could just
sweated
say
and
this
threw up
straight
in
up. We
that
could
shirt
change this straight
so
up
much.
and said Redneck Yacht Club right here.
Dude, that's such a good. That's no. This is when. Hang on. When. Oh gosh, come on, you got this. When Sporty
And those that's
becomes
wondering about the hat, that's Ozark Christian College. So shout out Ozark
OCC,
Christian
Ozark
College.
Christian
So we
College.
will not throw them under the bus, but that is what the college that he went to.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna
I can't
say
wait to have Mike on here because I'm going to find some good pictures.
when Sporty turns to style when Sporty tries to turn stylish.
So when Sporty turns to Spice.
I like it. I like it. When Sporty turns to
Oh.
spice.
All right, so here's the one that I mean, I always feel like I feel obligated to put pictures of me out there more just because I feel like I'm the one that kind of needs to supply you guys with information, and then you guys just need to tell us like what it is that we need to say.
Oh,
Just boom.
Bobby.
You weren't even here. That's what's crazy.
I know. I heard you guys' little commentary. This is when y'all were doing that stupid Knuckles game.
Yeah, Bloody
I'm
Knuckles
so
with
glad I
a
missed out
wooden
on
spoon.
this. I
So
do
you
not
wouldn't play?
understand why y'all got into this. Hell no. I still will not play
Okay.
it.
So like
It's the
you
dumbest
remember
thing in the world.
let me say this, okay? Like you
No,
remember playing Bloody
trying to
Knuckles with a quarter, right?
No,
No,
because
I'm asking you, do you remember that? Like you
no,
remember people
because
playing it, right?
I remember other people playing it.
That's what
I
I'm
thought
saying. I
that one
never
was
played that.
stupid too.
I never played that, right? So like my dad taught me a game, and I'm only saying this not to catch your eye on the game, but to actually get you behind why I think it was fun. And then I got Jordan to play it because we had fun doing it, right? So the concept of this game, right, is to lay a comb on your fist like this, right? And the concept is for the person that's trying to grab it or fake to grab it and slap your hand before you can move your hand away. But if you fake him out to where you go act like you're going to go grab the comb and you pull away and you knock it off, you get one free slap on your wrist or on your hand.
Yeah,
Like it's
and y'all's
hand-eye coordination.
no,
I
y'all's
loved
hands
it.
would get so red and like
Bloody.
bruised from doing this. It was nasty.
But my knuckles, though, look
Look,
at these knuckles.
I have one foolish game I was willing to play. And I have that scar
the
right
eraser.
there. That right
That wasn't
there,
even a
and I will
game.
not play it again. And
That wasn't even a game.
You're right. It wasn't.
All right, so meme this, fool.
Oh my gosh.
Like when I think of this, I think of the goofy laugh.
See, all I could hear is you saying, "Did you just say I got 50 nuggets for $12?" Like
Let's just say 50.
This is the typical 1:30 in the morning. Bobby's had a few drinks in him and he's looking for something to eat. And he just heard somebody say 50 piece from McDonald's for $12.
Facts. And this was literally Josh at this point, like if you looked out that window that I'm sitting by, you could see McDonald's, Arby's.
If Bobby looks to his left, he can see McDonald's, Lone Star, Arby's, Fazoli's.
And Fazoli's is closed, Lone Star's closed.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's sad. Now it's some Mexican restaurant and Fazoli's, and then Lone Star
Arby's was built. Shoot, I remember
so do
when
I.
it was just a forest and we had to walk through trees to get to.
I remember when I stubbed my toe when Brett and I, when we stole that sign that said "Now hiring for Amarillo Grill." Oh my god, that was so painful.
No, you're definitely past the.
Oh, way past statute of limitations. Way past you. And Amarillo Grill is not even a place no more. So try me.
I do remember your toe was jacked up after that.
My whole toenail was bent backwards.
Oh.
And then when like the next morning after I was hungover, like Brett and I were both hungover, you, me, and I think somebody else drove to my mom's house and she gave us like all this meat, like pork chops and all this other stuff. We took it back to your house and BJ just cooked up a feast.
Yeah.
And it got rid of my hangover.
Yeah.
But so what's your meme? So it's damn, did you just say 20 nuggets for $12? Or
50
however many
dollars. 50 nuggets. Yeah, 50 nuggets.
Good times. No, I like the memes just because it lets us kind of give a premise about like a picture that we had.
Heck yeah, and it's fun to go back and look at us as kids. It's fun to look at how ridiculous we look and how silly we are.
And that was why you were in college, and only your parents, I think, would allow that to happen right there because you weren't living there. You were in college. Only your parents on this planet would allow every kid in the neighborhood to come hang out at their house when they weren't home because nobody was home except maybe Ralph.
Absolutely. And do you know what ticked me off so much about them?
Your parents?
Not in regards to this, but when they sold that house and they were doing all that work and they were struggling to do all that stuff. Do you know what they kept saying? They kept saying. Yeah, they just kept saying how hard, like they kept running into everything. They said they just wish they had a little help. And I kept telling them over and over again. I was like, have you bothered reaching out to any of your boys there? And they kept saying,
I don't think that they ever asked anything.
They never once asked any of you guys anything. And I told them multiple times.
I didn't even know they sold it until like when I came down there for 2020 is when you told me that they sold it. It was a great house. A great house.
Dad and Aunt Deb and Uncle Lyle all worked their butts off on it. And I kept telling them, I was like, Dad, even if it's something small, Jordan, Bobby, Philip, Andrew, any one of them, you can call them. They will absolutely help you out, whatever you need.
But that's the thing about your parents, though. Like, if you don't know that they're doing something, it's pretty hush hush because they're doing it behind closed doors, and that's just how Dave and Sabrina were.
They're not attention seekers. They don't want it to be about them.
Like
right?
the
I had
last
a
time that
goal
I do
created
remember
in the
helping
space.
your family out, the last time I remember helping your family out was the most atrocious time of my life, and
Oh,
that was
do
moving
tell,
your
Bobby.
grandma. That was moving your grandma into that house. Oh my god. That was the only time that I probably wanted to quit on anything. Well, okay, I take that back. I've wanted to quit two things in life. One, I wanted to quit pulling weeds for my grandma because I was in trouble, and two, I wanted to quit swimming, and I couldn't quit swimming because I would have to go back to pulling weeds. So that moving your grandmother into that house was the worst. And then she's like, "Oh, well, I'm going to pay you good. I'm going to pay you good." And that wasn't even what I was hoping to take that money that we got and be able to go get McDonald's, right? That's
Right.
all we were shooting for. We couldn't even afford that after we were done. I think we got $10,
Yeah, it was
if
so
that.
bad.
We were like, "What? I could buy a bottle
10
of
$10 and permanent trauma from experiencing my grandma's racism.
not only that, but also that freezer that we moved downstairs. Oh my god." I remember that like it was yesterday. The only other thing that I remember outside of that you and I took part in was cleaning those apartments that they built across that field to
Oh,
walk
yeah.
across McDonald's, and I kinda showed you my wrestling tactics.
Dude, you bottomed me out. I still remember that. That was the first time that I ever took you seriously as a wrestler because I didn't realize that, like, you could manhandle me like that because of
I
wrestling.
never tried it though, because it's not right with somebody that's never been a wrestler.
Well, but that's my point. I didn't realize how easy it was for somebody who's a wrestler to manhandle somebody who's not a wrestler with just a couple of simple moves.
Right.
And you did that stupid thing where you hooked my arms and my legs and just flattened me and pancaked me and laid on top. And I was like, "What the hell, Bobby?"
Do you wanna know something that kinda caught my wife's or Jamie's eye of why she, like, found me attractive? When I that has nothing to do with me putting her in that situation,
Okay,
but,
okay,
like, a
thanks.
patient in the hospital got close to me in my face, and I told him, I said, "You need to back up." And then when he got louder, I got closer, and then when I closed the distance, that's when everything went, like, completely wrong for that individual, because when a drunk or high person gets loud in the setting that I was working in, I laid the smacketh down. I just said, "No, done." And then she was like, "Oh my god," like because he was probably bigger than you. He was 6'6", 300 plus pounds, and I he was in the air, and then I put him on a bed, and I owe that all to rest. So,
Nice.
fun fact.
Nice.
Like, I wish I knew why I wrestled. Like, I didn't have a reason to wrestle. I think I could have been a great wrestler if I really focused just on wrestling and not football. But I enjoyed football more than I did wrestling.
Mm,
And that's not because I was great at football. It's because it was more fun because it was all of us. Like you guys didn't wrestle. That was the only sport that I did
yep,
that you guys didn't have any part of. But I also swam, and wrestling and swimming was the two hardest sports I ever did. But it is what it is. But dude, I really love hanging out with you, even though Jordan can't make it. I love
me
everything
too.
about this, and I really hope this is episode 31. I don't know if you knew this or not.
I
Episode
did. I
31.
saw that, and that's got me so pumped that we're at 31 episodes. Like the
We could be at
consistency.
like probably 38, probably if we cut out those
Yeah, if we
7
yeah,
weeks that we couldn't have done it. But
yeah.
31, I think, is
I'm
a
just
milestone. Well, 30 is a milestone because we don't have anything that we have to talk about on here. We just talk
true.
about random stuff.
True. It
And
really
I
is
think
just
that this
us chatting, and usually for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So that's
and that's what I enjoy most is that we don't ever really plan to talk about anything. I have an outline of what I want to talk about when, but here's the 31.
the 31. Maybe we have 31 more and another 31 after that.
I don't think we could ever run out just because of the stuff that we've been through, because something new comes up every single episode, whether or
Yeah,
not we've been through it as a group or individually.
that's the cool thing. And so this isn't really a content-based thing, so there really isn't any content to run out of. It's
But I do hope
personality
somebody
based. You
finds
can't run out of this
something that we've
shine.
been through. Right, and I hope somebody finds something that they've also been through and can comment on this, because
Absolutely.
this isn't your everyday material, of course, but we have stories for days, but normally we don't remember the stories until something comes up, and that's what's fun about it. But I could tell
Um,
stories for days about stuff that we've done, but not all the time is it appropriate.
that is true. That is true. It's all right though.
But no, I'm
We
really
live in the
happy to see
grace
where
of
this has
Jesus.
come. But I'm really happy to see what this has actually came out to be. Like, anybody that says, "Hey, I want to start a podcast," or "Hey, I want to start doing this or that," like, they don't have the thought about what it takes to actually get that thing off the ground, and it took a while for us to get this off the ground for sure.
Yeah.
But it's totally been fun. Yeah, the editing behind all of it it's tedious sometimes, but I enjoy it just
Mm.
because I know that, like, I hope that somebody that does listen and finds it enjoyable, like BJ or Bo or your parents, because I know your parents listen. I know you time to time get a chance to listen if you're not on it by yourself. So I enjoy doing it just to see what happens when I finish editing, and then you guys are able to say something about it. So that's why I find it fun. So
I find it just like I mentioned before, it's I've definitely found myself in seasons because ministry is a hard and lonely road, unfortunately. You're everybody's pastor. And so part of the downfall to that is it's tough to build relationships where I'm not still somebody's pastor. And
you're
so
right.
like, I love you guys, but you don't see me as your pastor. I'm just your buddy. So like,
Well, like, I don't
I
see
think you
you
would ask
as,
me a religious question if you had one, but like,
yeah.
you don't look at me as the person that you lean on for spiritual
Well, that's where
direction.
you're wrong. I think that Josh and Jordan and I have both looked at you as the person that we would lean for, not just pastor thing, but good advice. So marriage
Oh,
advice, friendship advice, um, maybe even like money advice, because you're good with money. You're a great husband. You're a good father. I mean, I'm not a father, so I can't say that I would look at you towards a father. So, but I would say that, like, anytime that I've ever thought of something, I've always asked you first, and then it would be Jordan, because Jordan, I don't think he really cares too much about like how like a short comes out on here. Like, I always look at you as someone who looks at something from a perspective outside the box.
oh.
So
You got me in my
there's that.
feels, Bobby. You got me in my
There's no reason
feels.
to be in your fields.
Sure, there is. That was such a nice thing to say. And
Well, it's
I'm
just
sensitive,
honesty.
so
It's just honesty. Like, just
I
like
appreciate that.
whenever you bring up that, like, I had something to do with where you're at now in life, like, I don't feel that I was necessarily the person that the reason you are where you are, because you're the reason. I only gave you a stepping stone. Like, I invited you to a church, I invited you to an outing at that church, but it took you to actually go out and grab that line that so
That's
whoever was
true.
throwing out there at you. So I had nothing to do with that part of it. I just gave you kind of a shove. Maybe I was your the ringtone on that phone call that you got from God.
Mhm. But
So I
it's that faithfulness that is inspiring to me because you didn't even realize how faithful you were being. You were just doing what you knew to do.
I mean, I wouldn't say that I knew what I was doing. I just wanted to, like, you and I, whether or not we saw eye to eye growing up as kids,
Very little, very little. And I don't know
we
that that was
still
ever
had
your
our.
fault. It was usually me. I just didn't like you.
I just did. I didn't change anything about me to have anybody like me. Like, whatever you see on a day to day thing with me is what you get. Like, I'm not going to change
True.
anything to give you either false hope or false information that, like, I say things that don't make any sense sometimes, and I do that just to get a reaction out of people. Like,
You definitely
I
don't
just
give
say,
two faces, though. You definitely don't live pluralistically.
I try
You
not
are
to. No,
Bobby.
I do.
You are Bobby at all times.
I do say that I have to live that way just because of the job setting that I'm in. I have to do that. Like, I take everything that I do with at work and I don't bring it home, and I don't take whatever I have home to
You
work.
compartmentalize, and I get that, but you're still even at your job though. You're still you. You're a professional you, but you're still Bobby.
Yeah. Could you ever see me professionally?
I just think a professional version of you farts less and cusses less. Like, I don't think it's that much more professional. Like, I don't see it in a suit and tie. I just see you. I just see you as a guy who maybe uses "sir" a little bit more and like is a little bit more like organized. But yeah, you're still you.
I don't use "sir" as much as I probably should, but
I'm sure
but
your
I do
bosses would
enjoy.
agree.
I do enjoy like dressing nice. Like that's one of the things about me that I do. I do like to have like an outfit that I have an outfit that I like. I wear the same shirt every day essentially, but I've always enjoyed dressing nice. Kind of like being like a senior pastor at a church. Like they wear a suit and tie. Like Steve, if I could have Steve Harvey's attire, I would wear the shit out of that. All right, like that man can wear a suit.
Dude, he dresses nice. He's sharp all the time.
That's another show I started to get into. I don't know because I know that you're the guy that was a part of that USA. What's that?
What's
Well,
that?
everybody's a part of the Steve Harvey show, but
I love that show.
a show that I started watching on Netflix that was on USA that you probably watched was Suits.
I never actually did watch Suits, but it looked really good.
It is so good.
It
It's
seems
so
like
good.
my kind of show. And I've seen the previews for it multiple times. I'm like, nah, I should probably watch that.
It's been hard to kind of take the princess of, well, now she's not the princess of Essex.
Meghan Markle. It's hard to take her
It's
seriously.
hard to take her. No, it's hard to take her. Like I don't think it's her when she's acting, and that's very. It's probably a good thing and a bad thing, but like she's so beautiful. Like she's that. People say like it was a weird thing for those two to get married, but it wasn't. She's that. She is that beautiful.
Mesmerizing?
Like yes,
Okay,
because
fair
of
enough.
granted, it has a lot to do with like where she came up of why people thought it was weird, but the way that because she's been in a lot of movies that we would have never get. She was in The Hangover.
Hmm.
Do you know what she was in The Hangover?
I remember seeing stuff. I remember seeing stuff about like, what she was in before she married the prince, but truth be told, I'm not super big into the royalty, and Heather really
I'm not
really
either, but
is.
like
Heather's like obsessed with it, and so
she's like Disney Channel into the royalty.
it's obnoxious, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how to handle this, and so like I know just enough to like there's a Prince Charles book sitting on my counter because my wife reads it. It's
The only thing that I remember was it 1997 that Princess Diana died.
Yep.
I was in 4th grade. Okay, I remember that only because of how sad it probably was for the world.
Pretty sure that gave my wife PTSD. I'm pretty sure she still has PTSD from it.
And she's older than both of us by a few weeks, by me.
Yeah, by a couple of weeks.
But like, I couldn't say that I got sad because I didn't know who she was. But yeah, when you look into the like backstory of why or how she died, like that's pretty sketchy.
Yeah,
and sketchy.
Very sketchy.
It's almost
very sketchy. It's very sad. Very suspicious.
Very JFK like for America. It's very JFK for the like
makes you
royalty.
Lots of red flags for sure. So.
Creepy. But hey, I know that you got to get back to stuff and you've had a long couple weeks, but we definitely have to keep doing this. And I think that the more we do this, the better. I think that the show will actually get out there, but I also think that we'll have more fun with it. So, but I'm glad that Mike is going to be coming on next week, and I need your help. I need your help to help me send me pictures to where he can help me because I think he'd be the greatest memer. I think he's going to be so good.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the story that I'm going to tell about Mike is going to be epic. All right.
Okay.
And it's the one that I will always remember Mike for.
Love it.
And we already know what he's going to bring up about me. We already know. But what story is he going to bring up about you?
Oh, I have no idea because he had some fun ones.
You don't have any embarrassing ones. You don't have any embarrassing ones.
I do. Yes, I do. And he's already shared some with my students. It was hilarious. So we'll wait and see, though. We'll see what he says.
Oh, that's going to be great.
All right.
All right, bud.
I love you.
But hey, before you go, we'll say goodbye on here, but I'm going to say goodbye here. Before you guys all stop watching, please hit that like button, consider subscribing, and hit that comment.
Follow.
Comment and tell us how terrible this was for you. So, but we love you. I love you.
Love you.
Bye.